Great, thank you, Kelly. All right, so we'll call this meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes. I hope everyone had a chance to read through the minutes. Does anybody have any corrections to make at this time? Okay, I have just a few. One, I think under members absent, I'm pretty sure Daphne attended, because I seem to remember Daphne reported that there wasn't a report from on the school district.
Yep, I was there last meeting in September, but I think the mistake might have been that I told Miss Hilliard that I wouldn't be there, but at the last minute, I realized I was able to make it.
Okay, great. Well,
I'll correct that.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Thank
have
you.
that corrected. And that's actually the only correction I had. I had notes on something else, but that was the only correction. So any other changes, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, the minutes as circulated by Kelly are approved. So now let's move into the public comment period. Do I see Rick Eilertson is on? I don't know, Rick, if you have a public comment to make, but if you do, go ahead and unmute your line. You've got 3 minutes. Thanks for being here.
Sure. Rick Eilertson. I work, well, I live in Baraboo. I work in Middleton with the firm that I work with. But I don't really have anything specific to mention, other than I was really impressed to see that Daphne is giving a presentation. So I can't remember the exact date of it, but it looked like a really good presentation coming up here, and I'm hoping to be able to make that.
Great. Thank you for that, Rick. And Daphne, would you care to share what your presentation is going to be and whether we can attend?
I'm not sure what the presentation is. Mr. Rick, would you mind explaining a little bit?
I'll it seemed like it was coming up in the next couple of weeks, and there was a couple of college students that you're co-presenting with, but I'll try to find that information and put it in the chat.
No, I understand what you're saying now. I'm going to be on a panel of like youth sustainability leaders for Sustain Dane. I think it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Oh, yep, that's what it is. Thank you.
That's great. And thank you, Rick, for the reminder to Daphne that she's speaking tomorrow. I'm sure you were on top of it, Daphne. But that reminds me, as we conclude our public comment period, I just wanted to, before we dive into our agenda, I wanted to relay congratulations to Daphne for being named the Wisconsin Student of the Year from the Wisconsin Association of Environmental Education. And also, Daphne, you were instrumental in starting the Dane County Youth Environmental Committee, and the Association for Environmental Education gave that group their Earth Guard Award. So congratulations again. And then I don't know if she joined us yet, but Deb, committee member Deb Weitzel, she just recently was awarded the Energy Educator of the Year from the Wisconsin K-12 Energy Education Program, or KEEP. So we have 3 awards to celebrate on top of what we can now announce, which is our Innovation Award from the Wisconsin Policy Forum that went to the committee as a whole. So good job, everybody. And Kelly's going to try to get some press coverage, well-deserved and earned press coverage for these many awards that our committee and its members have recently received. So, okay, I would love to have a timekeeper if someone wants to volunteer. Daphne, great, thank you. Okay, and be a little flexible on the sustainability plan update, because like I said in my email earlier or yesterday, I think that was a miscommunication on my part. I recognize we probably need more like 20 minutes instead of 10. Okay, so let's dive into Kelly's staff report. And just a reminder, everyone, Kelly circulated the her written staff report with the hope that we would all read it and come armed with questions. And that way she doesn't have to give the oral report at this time, but she can field questions from us. So who wants to start the questioning?
I have a question.
Okay, Deb, welcome. Did you hear our award announcement about you?
No, I just got on.
Well, congratulations. We're
Oh,
all
thank you.
very proud of you and happy for you.
And to Daphne too, but
Yep.
yeah. Okay, my question it has to do with Sustainability U. I haven't seen any publicity about that. Is that a virtual? Is it in person or what? How do you know about it?
It's virtual. The publicity would be just through the library's website and their distribution list. I did just send a message to a bunch of Middleton contacts that I know through various groups. And I also posted on Nextdoor today. So if you want to go on Nextdoor and amplify that, that would be great. But if you check out I think Kelly, did you put the link in your, I don't know if you put the link in your staff report, but if you go to the library main website, it'll have an event listing, and just look up October 21 in the calendar and you'll see it.
Okay.
I'm going to have Mike Davis put out publicity to all of the cities. Notify me tomorrow with the link. We didn't have the link until last Thursday, so I wanted to wait until we had that. And he can put that out on Nextdoor, Good Neighbor Hub, and the city's Notify Me's. The library circulation reaches, I think, 1,500 to 1,500 people.
Yep. And I did last week on the strategic plan advisory committee meeting, I did mention, I took the opportunity as I was introducing myself to mention that we have Sustainable U coming up. And then, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name, the library director, she dropped the link for registration into the chat. So let's hope we picked up a few people that night. Okay, any other questions, Deb?
No, thank you.
If not, we'll go to Kermit, who has his hand raised. And remember, if you have any questions about Kelly's written staff report, please raise your hand and get in the queue. Go ahead, Kermit.
Okay, thanks. One question specifically related to the report item, the fleet transition update. The discussion or description mentions hybrid vehicles being considered. Are those at least plug-in hybrid electrics, or are they older school hybrids that don't have that option? Personally, I'd prefer to see them be total electric, and so the fact that they're described as hybrid is kind of a disappointment. So I'm just hoping they're at least plug-in hybrid.
I don't think that the detective hybrid has been specified yet, so there's potential for that to be a plug-in hybrid. The other hybrid car would be the police interceptor squad car, which is a hybrid, which is what a lot of fleets are using right now as a go-between the standard cars and all electric. I think that the fleet manager and the police department as well were uneasy about having an all-electric car for the detective because he drives into small towns in northern Wisconsin, and they were nervous about there being enough charging stations for the detective to idle outside for long periods of time and in the winter. So I think that was the reason for that being not all electric. And then the Gator is all electric. So there's 3 cars that will be lower emissions in 2022. But the most exciting thing to me was that our fleet manager plans to write a plan using their fleet replacement plan that exists, but make a plan given what we know now to transition all the vehicles to electric. He wants to go all electric rather than hybrids. He sees hybrids being just a very short term and almost on their way out even now. So he
Right.
seems game to go straight to electric. It was just that right now in this budget year, those are the decisions he felt were best for the police department, or that's what the police department felt good about. We had a good conversation with Mahant Joshi at Madison though about Teslas and their capabilities now for police vehicles, and also their the price points are coming down so much.
Did we get any kind of feel for what the life cycle plan is? Like, is the Interceptor going to be a 1 year or a 5-year investment? Like, how quickly can we get to where we want to go?
Well, I think the plan would help lay that out, and that we could, because we also need to look at charging infrastructure and where that would go and how we do it and when we do it. And, you know, it's quite a bit of planning. And the hybrid Interceptor, he does know how long generally you keep those squad cars. And I don't want to guess, but I think he has that in his plan.
Okay.
And those things are available within the budget document. There is the fleet replacement plan, which is a public document on the website. It's housed within a very massive budget plan, but it's a 25-year replacement plan, I believe.
But and does that reflect this hybrid EV progression, or is that
not yet? Because the fleet manager is planning to write a plan that will replace the next 5-year increment of the existing fleet replacement plan. And he wants to go through, knowing what he knows now. It changes every year with new vehicles coming online, but given what we know now, making a real effort to identify which electric cars would work for each vehicle in the fleet. And he was really positive. He thought that within 7 or 8 years, he could have almost everything transition to electric. He said even the larger vehicles like street sweepers have some even nearly viable options for electric right now. So I feel like it's been a bit of a sea change that I'm happy to see.
Yeah, that sounds much improved from previous versions of the feedback we were getting from Fleet. So you've been very persuasive, Kelly. Is it hypnosis? No. I was just wondering, Sustainable You, PR with Middleton Times Tribune, has there been a press release done for that? Because I think the whole package could warrant a feature story of some sort, you know, something new, something different. So I just encourage that as something that could be done. And I will note that your staff report mentions the Wisconsin Academy Local Government Summit, and congratulations for being part of that. And I'll put in a plug. I've signed up to attend. I think it could be very interesting and encouraging for others of us who can carve time out to make that on, I think it's October 27th.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any other questions, Kermit?
Not right now, nope.
Okay. Anybody else have questions for Kelly about her staff report? I do want to comment that I think it's great that the fleet manager is creating this 5-year transition plan. It's 20 years for the fleet transition in the in the comp plan. So you know, like he is just taking this first 5-year chunk, but that's great news to hear that he thinks 7 to 8 years is doable. Also, I just wanted to, and I am signed up to attend the Wisconsin Academy of Sciences, Arts and Letters Local Government Summit, Kelly. So I look forward to hearing that. I note that we do have in item 6, that's an agenda item for next time, the weighted priorities from the Yahara Clean Compact meetings. So we'll make sure that goes on the agenda for November. And finally, I just want to comment about the Sustainable You. You mentioned in your report, you're going to speak about the city energy goals, and that might be your shorthand, but I just want to clarify that we did advertise it as what sustainability is, why it's important, what the city is doing, and what residents can do. So I just want to make sure that that you'll be able to cover those at some point in your talk, even if you are, mainly addressing what the city does in the context of the energy plan. Okay, great. All right, thanks for that report, Kelly. A lot of great work going on in the city. And I do think, Kermit, it's a great idea to have a press release go out. Kelly, I know we don't have a communication specialist on staff,